Today we'll go ahead and continue to use the same team that we've been utilizing. So we're going to be working with this Gigantimax Hatterene, this Sandrush Excadrill. We've got our shiny Delmise, as well as a Tyranitar, and that's a choice banded Tyranitar. So it it does a lot of damage, as y'all can remember from last episode or from our last stream. And then we've got our Togekiss, and finally the Moringa Berry, Milotic. So hopefully today we'll go ahead and climb out of this Great Ball 9 tier. I have another rental team that I might play around with towards the end of the stream, kind of depending on how things go. We'll see if y'all are getting kind of tired of this team or if you want to see something new. So yeah, let's see. Okay. All the information is updated. We're searching for our very first opponent. So, yeah. So how's everyone's laddering been lately? No. Go back. Let's go gym leader. I'm gonna risk it. Let's go for it. Marnie. Yeah, Marnie. One of the best soundtracks I think in the game. I also think Marnie is one of my favorite characters. Just so goth and so metal. Alright, we're going to be playing against Brenna, rank 9 to start. So, what we got here? We see a Toxtricity low-key form. That's interesting. Alright, Dragapult, Grimmsnarl, Excadrill, Gyarados, and a I already said Dragapult. Yeah, so this is interesting. I'm trying to figure out what this team wants to do, because that's got to be Mold Breaker Excadrill, right? With that, I don't see... Like, what's the downside to going our Trick Room mode right now? Torkoal, presumably, is a downside. I think that if we just focus down damage on it, though, I feel pretty okay about it. So, let's go this, and then this. Not having a ground type against that Toxtricity, I don't feel good about, but I also don't think that you bring Toxtricity to this matchup. So, let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's see. So this is like kind of our most common, most standard set and setup for this team. So we'll be playing Brenna today. Really cool trainer card there. Love the green short hair. Alright, let's see what we get in terms of lead. It's a cool hat too. Alright, proved me wrong. What do we think? Is that on an air balloon? Excadrill's Mold Breaker, which is what we expect. It is not on an air balloon, so we're not going to see Disquake. I mean, I guess technically, like, Overdrive is always better. So here they have the ability to go ahead and stop us from using Trick Room, but we're going to go ahead and follow me, just in case Excadrill decides to get cheeky and go for like a Iron Head or something, and then we're gonna just go for Trick Room. We'll underspeed everything, with the exception of Torkoal. So as long as they don't have Torkoal in the back, I'm feeling pretty confident about this setup right here. Yep, Iron Head, which is not gonna be enough to KO. He is gonna do a spread move right here. Oh, he's just going for Sludge Wave. That makes sense. Sludge Wave, because Steel type resists. Brings me down to my Sash. Unfortunate for you. I don't believe either of those two Pokemon get a priority move, so we're really safe right here just to go ahead and go for our standard setup. One thing to consider. Let's see. Yeah, so if they'd gone for like Earthquake Sludge Wave, we would have been in a lot of trouble. I wasn't expecting Sludge Wave. I typically, when I see that, I think Boom Burst. Oh, hey! How's it going, Tiki VGC? Thanks for tuning in. Glad your computer did not explode. So here we are. We just... one sec while I think through this play. I think we really want to go for Max Phantasm. I'm worried about the damage more from Toxtricity than I am from Excadrill, which, you know, feels a little strange to say, but I think that this just gets us a whole lot out of this turn. So previously, last turn, they went for a Sludge Wave and an Iron Head. So the Iron Head followed me into the Togekiss. Got about half maybe about 55%, and then the Sludge Wave took out the Togekiss and brought us down to our Sash on the Hatterene. So with that, you know, there's a chance that he could go for Sludge Wave again. I could let him proc my weakness policy that way. He might, you know, be similar to a lot of people in thinking that Dhelmise is actually a Steel type when it's not, so it'd actually be super effective rather than immune. So here we're going to go ahead and get this Max Phantasm off. We broke a potential Sash on the Excadrill too, and we're dropping its defense by 1 stage. I'm anticipating the Hatterene going down on this turn, which is fine. It's kind of done its purpose. If he does target that. Okay, that's totally fine. I'll make that trade. Because now Hatterene gets to be the first thing moving on the field again, with the exception of perhaps a Torkoal here. And it appears my opponent didn't bring the Torkoal. I think they were fearing my Sand mode. And actually, you know what? I think that might be a Scarf Excadrill now that I'm thinking about it, because it's only used Iron Head so far. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do here is let's go for... I kind of like the idea of getting up my grassy terrain here. And we're going to get a Dazzling... I mean, he might have Sucker Punch, as we've seen recently, but if he's Sucker Punching, he's, you know, essentially wasting a turn. Oh, are we going to see a Gigantamax? Or no, this is going to be the Excadrill. So, yeah, he's going to go for the Excadrill. It's at -1 defense already. Taking a... Oh, we do see the Grimmsnarl going for the Gmax Snooze. This is fun. I haven't actually played against a Gmax or a Grimmsnarl yet, so cool play by my opponent. I'm excited to see if they end up getting lucky with the snoozes. It's one of those interesting max move mechanics where it's not a guaranteed proc, so there's only, I think, a 50% chance for each individual Pokemon to get snoozed by the ability. And the good news is that we would still have the ability to attack next turn. What I'm anticipating is a Gmax Snooze right here, probably into a Max Guard. Yeah, that's actually enough to KO us, which, unfortunate. I don't know if that crit mattered. They hit pretty hard. I probably, if I'd gone for the Steel Spike, then that definitely would have, you know, mattered. But I think here we can just go for another Dazzling Gleam and get our Choice Band Tyranitar to clean up whatever else my opponent has. So, Gyarados. Okay, this is good positioning for us. So, I don't anticipate our Hatterene living beyond this turn right here. But so we've got 2 turns of Trick Room left. Presumably that Grimmsnarl. Yeah, you think the crit mattered? Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's more than likely. So I think we're gonna go for the Rock Slide. We'll just not risk having to guess any Protects or Max Guards. We've got 2 turns left of Trick Room. Sand might KO me from this range, but we don't end up seeing a... What is that? Oh, okay, that's going to be an Iapapa Berry or a Pinch Berry of some kind. Citrus Berry. Oh, we said it just over half. Oh, this is going to hurt. Yeah, I think this is fully offensive Grimmsnarl, which I was not expecting. So, yeah. Then whatever Gyarados does is going to be enough. So that's unfortunate. Starting off the stream with a loss here. Aquatail. That's interesting. I don't see Aquatail over Waterfall. Doesn't Aquatail have a chance of missing? Isn't it like a 85% move versus a like 95 or 100 accuracy move? Yeah, Chase, would you mind calculating that to see if that crit definitely did from like a max attack Adamant Grimmsnarl? That'd be helpful for me to know, like if I just lost to a crit or something else. Okay, yeah, here we can see it is indeed max attack Adamant. So it says Calm Nature, but that's Adamant by Mint. Was it Scarf? No, Metronome. Now I feel even dumber listening to this. Metronome is a bad ability or bad item. King's Rock? let's see here. The punk rock. Yeah, that'll make sense. Let's relax nature here. Amnesia, protect, eruption, flamethrower. These are sets I'm not familiar with. So we'll go ahead and try and go into game 2. We're gonna keep probably like 1 or 2 more games with this team. If we kind of start to get bored, or if we kind of continue to slip like this, I might go ahead and switch up teams. 60 to 70% chance, so roll in my favor. Okay, yeah. So the crit definitely mattered. If I'd gone for Steel Spike there, I mean the crit still would have KO'd through Steel Spike, but if I had knocked out the Grimmsnarl, that would have been in a much better position. Oh hey Nibs, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh hey Rollercoaster, how's it going? Aw, I got all my friends here. This is exciting. We are laddering here. As you can see, we're using the same team. Yeah, I would have KO'd with Steel Spike. And then, I mean, what was a Metronome Ironhead going to be doing to me? I was kind of thinking maybe that was Scarf because it was Mold Breaker, where they want to see if they can't catch a opposing Sand Rush off guard, where they think, well, no, then that doesn't make any sense either. I don't know. Does Scarf get you Dragapult? Yeah, so I think Steel Spike was the right play right there. Alright, so we're going to be playing Obsidian here. Oh, we gotta go down a rank to play. Alright. Oh, hey, Nibs. Oh, hi, this one, KD. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. That's a real cute dog emote. So what we've got is, JD, your favorite. We've got Lucario here. I see Beat-Up. And when I see Beat-Up, this is what I do. Yeah, so I'm kind of anticipating, yeah, it's 100% justified. Do you think it's double justified? Think they're justified on Arcanine or just, all right, who should be our last one? Probably, yeah. I mean, I've seen Intimidate more often on that Arcanine, so I don't know a lead where they can take me down with this Hatterene Togekiss. I kind of want my Lodic in the back because if they lead Arcanine. Do I have an extra shiny Dolomize? I'm sorry, I don't this one, Katie. I just have the one and I spent, I think, about 3 weeks breeding for it. But you can definitely, the fun thing is you can use this rental code if you want to. If you do exclamation, I think, rental in the chat, you can see the rental code and you can use this team for yourself for battling on any kind of Sword and Shield, either in the casual or on ranked battle. So, see, did that work? We'll see. If I don't know if my chat bot, maybe try exclamation rental code. I just added it like right before this. All right, so we see Whimsicott and the Arcanine. So yeah, rental code works. Okay, cool. Thanks, Rollercoaster. So there is no reason not to follow me. And like, part of me is thinking if this isn't justified and it goes for a Snarl right here, it would be really, really, really good to go ahead and get up, get my Milotic in, get to +2, but we're just gonna go for Trick Room because we know this is safe. Oh, you know a friend that's been looking for a shiny for it for a while? Yeah, it's a tough one to get. One thing we might be doing in the future is I might be hosting some shiny dens. I might be able to go ahead and get a den where we can get a shiny Dolomize. It is such a pretty shiny. Hey Maggie M, how's it going? Yeah, here we go. We see it is in fact the Beat-Up justified Arcanine, so I feel really good about our play. All right. So we're going to be in a position here. Yeah, he's lowering our damage output with Snarl. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it because he's done essentially no damage to me at this point. We do have a, you know, we are down to -1 on our special attack. I think that I have to keep follow meing here though, in hopes that he goes for something that can KO. What we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to go ahead and go for, let's go ahead and break that sash on the Whimsicott, and we'll just go ahead and go for this. Yeah, just crit every attack. Yeah, that's one way through it. We'll see what they switch into. Yeah, this one KD, let's see. Yeah, you know, if I had an extra one, I would definitely be able to trade for you, but unfortunately I only have the one right now. But if your friend wants to play with this team, that rental code right there is usable by anyone. You can hang out and play with it online. So, all right, they're just going to keep going for Snarls here. So I actually think that, is this the turn I just switch in to my Delmise and I get the proc on the weakness policy? I'm a little bit worried about Sableye reversing Trick Room, which is why I think just the double Dazzle would get the KO onto the Sableye. Sableye doesn't... Does Sableye usually run Trick Room? I feel like it doesn't. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and swap in our Delmise to see if we can go ahead and catch them with another Snarl. Yeah, it doesn't even get Trick Room. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. So with this... Yeah. I just always assume every ghost gets Trick Room, which is, you know, not always true. So let's see if we can't get them to self-proc our weakness policy so we don't have to waste our brutal swing next turn. Oh, now he's going for it. Oh, I really hope it's not a Flare Blitz into the Delmise slot. That would be really bad for us. Wild Charge into the Delmise. Not great, but not the worst thing in the world. It did get a crit, which is 2 games in a row where we've gotten a crit that, you know, I think that wouldn't have done that much less damage, but we'll be okay here. We've got... So the one thing I'm worried about here is Quash. Like a Prankster Quash. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I think he's going to go for a Sucker Punch onto himself. I think that he realizes that +1 is not enough damage. Does get Ally Switch? Yeah. Yeah, I thought it did too, Nibs. Alright, well, let's see how this move works out for us. We're doing it towards the end of Trick Room, which I don't feel great about, but they really don't have that much collective damage onto Hatterene, so there's even an option to get Trick Room up again, or at the very least, divert a lot of the attacks away. So we might... Okay. It does get Ally Switch, you are right, Tiki. So, we don't have our weakness policy procced yet. Yeah, you spoke it into existence. We get a crit on the Arcanine, which is big because that undid our -2. And so this should be enough to pick up the KO. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Just having the Dazzling Gleam was enough to go ahead and pick off the Sableye, so it didn't matter for targeting. Alright, let's see what our opponent has in the back. We already knew about the Whimsicott. Yeah, Ally Switch really did work out for me. Okay, here we go. We got the Lucario. Okay, so we are on our last turn of Trick Room. We have not procced our weakness policy yet. We were hoping they were going to Snarl for us. That wasn't the case, but what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I also in the back have my Lodic. I know that I need to get damage onto this Lucario. So what we're going to go ahead and do is a fairly simple Brutal Swing, proc our own weakness policy, get big damage onto the Lucario. Even through the Protect, this is going to do a lot and drop its... Oh, unfortunate for our opponent. So they tried to taunt us, but because of our ability Magic Bounce, they actually get taunted because there are any status move, or most status moves that go into Hatterene get reflected back to whoever used them against it. So in this case, I don't think that it could have worked out better for us. Yeah, who does have the Sash here? I would expect the Whimsicott. I think the typical beat-up Lucarios were running Shookaberry to account for Dynamax, or for Sandrush Excadrills. So, you know, the Trick Room is in fact up, so this is an interesting turn. We can go ahead and take out the Lucario. Yeah, it's true. You can't run Sash. You're just going to break it with your own beat up. That's really true. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Trick Room here. I'm fully anticipating Hatterene to go down, and that's fine because Whimsicott can't 1v4 my team. So, yeah, we're in a really good position here. We know that Whimsicott actually has to attack, so it's not like he can go for anything. He's going to beat up into the Lucario, which will then be +4. At which point might be fast enough to go ahead, it might be strong enough to KO our Delmise here. If it is, then we get Trick Room up, and, we'll be underspeeding and going first against Lucario for the rest of the game, so I'm alright with this trade. But yeah, so this is a strategy that was really common early on in the meta. Self-procking your own. You played an Air Balloon Lucario, beat up team yesterday. I was laughing so much when they popped their own with their Whimsicott. Yeah, that's one of those where you think is like, oh, this is a genius idea. Oh, and we live. Wow. Delmise's defenses are really something. That base 100 defense really coming in clutch. Even against a +4 Lucario, living a max steel spike. I think that's the only move that they're likely running to damage Delmise. So in this case, we just we get our Trick Room up, and oh, it was only +2. Oh, that's right, because the beat up depends on the number of Pokemon you have left. Good point, Roller Coaster. Yeah, so it was only +2. If it had been +4, there's no way we lived. I was like, that would have been way too wild. So yeah, we just close out the game here with just a pretty simple Anchor Shot and Dazzling Gleam. If my opponent doesn't forfeit right here. We'll see. Yeah, battle was canceled. But yeah, there we go. We're 1-1 on the day. It's been a while since I've seen Beat Up. That was really common early meta, but I feel like you only run into it pretty rarely now. Let's check out their team. They were Lumberry on the Lucario. Okay. Let's see. Oh, special Dragapult. Okay. Hydro Pump, Shadow Ball, Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt. No protects. Oh, and no Moonblast on the Whimsicott. Just Energy Ball and Beat Up. Interesting. Okay, well, cool.